Welcome, everybody, to another episode of On the Range podcast. Today is August 1st. I can't believe it's August 1st already, Rick. 2021. How's it going today, buddy?
Yeah, buddy, it's going. Just want to thank the viewers, listeners out there for giving us your most precious commodity, your time. And since it is the first, don't forget Dukko's PSA. Give your dogs their heartworm, flea, and tick. So that's something we started before. We're just going to keep rolling there. So want to keep that rolling on, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Well, today's episode is brought to you by Killcliff. So go to killcliff.com, use the promo code OTR15, save yourself some money, and get some badass energy drinks with ingredients that do not suck. They are fueling the American dream, and they also have a rewards program called the Killcliff Cult Club. So go check them out again, killcliff.com, OTR15. Also, we got some partners over at Combat Flip Flops, promo code OTR25. Griffin, the guys over there and the gals, man, they're doing a great job over there. They got more things than just flip-flops, but their flip-flops are badass. Been sporting them all summer long. So go to combatflipflops.com, use the promo code OTR25, and save yourself 25%. Support some good causes from both these great companies. So, Rick, yeah, man, happy Sunday. Hope everything is going well. I understand you did some yard work. You got some rain coming.
Yeah, buddy. Just trying to get, knock out the chores, get stuff going because, of course, we got to get back to the grind on Monday. Still kind of recouping, still a little bit behind from losing Dukko and stuff like that. So, but yeah, just got to get on there, do some stuff. Got a couple things coming up this month. All American Week's probably a big one at the end of the month, helping them out with their 2-day shooting competition. So, just trying to solicit some vendors for those guys and just help them have the best show out there, whether it's vendors physically out there in the range or whether it's stuff for the prize table or whatever people want to give. So if you guys are interested in participating with the 82nd Airborne All-American Week first annual epic shooting competition, just shoot us a note. And if you want to be involved, let me know and kind of plug you the details in from there. So, but yeah, buddy, that's kind of what's going on.
Yeah, really looking forward to that. Kelley Defense will be down there, and we haven't really talked a whole lot about if there's going to be any OTR events, but the nice thing about this show is it's pretty mobile. We could throw that together quickly if we needed to. Piece of cake.
Too easy.
Yeah, man. So looking forward to that. 82nd Airborne All-American Week. I know they had to push it back this year because it's typically beginning of summer, but yeah, really looking. I know you're doing a lot of work with the vendors. Appreciate that, man. I think it's going to be a great event for these guys for that shooting competition. I'm really looking forward to being there.
Yeah, because what we're trying to do is, they reached out looking for some help because they didn't really have the wheels as far as knowing people in industry and stuff like that. And basically, all I've been doing is reaching out. Just, hey, man, here's what we got going on. You got the potential. Put your stuff in front of 17,000 paratroopers. There's some rules. You can't sell stuff there, and things have to go through the 82nd Association as far as, prizes and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you want these guys to have an epic event. And I'm going to throw it out there as the best way to put it, an epic event. Yeah. So 2-day shooting competition. Hey, who is the best shooter in the 82nd Airborne? And they've got a pretty good competition laid out. And then, oh, by the way, just, get some prizes out there for them. Show these guys, hey, just from the industry standpoint, here's some stuff for you guys that are out there winning. Because at the end of the day, my hat's off to the 82nd leadership, really trying to make a more lethal paratrooper this day and age. If you think about it, for us back in the day, hey man, you went to the range, there was nothing really going on. The only thing you could do on the weekend if you wanted to do anything was a fun jump, right? That was really the only thing that was going on. But now they've got what they call their enduring range. So they do, Sergeant Major Pitt, who's the command sergeant major over there, he's got what they call a 20-minute firefight. So it's actually shooting under physical duress and trying to increase their lethality. So, and guys come out in droves, man. It is a good program they have. So kind of putting that all together for All American Week and just going and say, hey, who is the top dog? So it's going to be a great event. Looking forward to helping those guys out with it. And I know you're going to be down there, and we'll see the old alma mater, and 1505. You better, step up to the plate.
Better represent. Man. Yeah, man. The shooting under the physical duress, man, that's a great job for Sergeant Major out there, because that's something that we have implemented that, you had started into the programs that we do. And it does a lot of things other than just test your physical fitness. Shooting under duress is a thing, and it's going to happen. And, when you need it, it shouldn't be the first time you've ever done it. So it's a great way to kind of see where you're lacking and see where you can improve. And what a great tester, and a lot of fun sometimes at these events. The guys love it, and then they realize they see the need for it, and that's really what it's all about. So yeah, really looking forward to that.
Yeah, and you can go back and look at, I think, some of our Instagram posts that have,
Oh God.
let's just say we've had some excited individuals, man, where that bag is just sitting there crushing them. And
Yeah.
with that, so we're just using, the brute force bag. If you guys aren't familiar with brute force, go check them out. And we're not putting a whole bunch of weight in there. That's the whole thing. But just having them do some stuff. And man, I think we set them up for a little bit of failure, if you want to say, right? So
A little.
the first one by design, it's an easier type deal because we shoot two of these segments in the class. But yeah, the second one, we kind of add a little more dynamic to it.
It
Man.
ramps up pretty quick. And we demo it for them. We're like, hey, look, guys, you can go see our videos. We do the same stuff. This isn't anything that we can't do.
Right. But here's the thing, right? It's, you show them now. Granted, I'm not saying, hey, here's the best way to do it on some of these things, because you want them to figure some things out. But you kind of give them a quick little, hey, do it like this, and
and they never do.
No, some guys catch it, some guys, and then it just winds up where they're sitting there cussing. It's like, oh, I think I did that one post one time. Brute force sandbags may cause you to cuss or something like that.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
oh boy,
May cause involuntary cussing or something.
So,
he wasn't having. He was having fun, but he wasn't having fun. It was a lot of
but I think
like that.
Hopefully with that, he ended up picking some,
Yeah,
just working on his physical fitness after that. So that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On top of the All American Week, just prior to that, the week before, we got another event coming in Southwest Ohio. Looking forward to that. So we'll put some content out. Unfortunately, it's not. It wasn't really a closed event, but it's full. Those tend to fill up pretty quick.
Yeah, the LEO only. And we'll just say sponsored event for lack of better terms. Those things they load up. So
yeah, they do.
Good
to see Marcus on there. Thanks, Marcus.
Yep.
Glad you're on board, buddy.
Yeah,
Love
man.
that guy.
And of course, Dan's on.
Mark Torgerson. Yep.
Yeah, if you guys are looking, and I'll throw a bone here. Here's the beauty with On the Range is we're not always about, hey, look at us and what we're doing. If you guys are looking for something hand-to-hand self-defense, here's the deal. I'm gonna throw Marcus a bone.
Yeah.
Marcus is the only non-Israeli Krav Maga master. I know he's out doing classes and stuff like that. He's still here in the States, so I'm sure you could reach out to him. Probably on IG, I would say would be the best way to reach out to Marcus. And if you're looking you want a class or something like that, or whatever the case may be, definitely hit him up. So and then it looks like we got Dan on board as well. So doing well, Dan.
Yeah, there's old George Washington. We haven't seen George Washington around. I think
because
he's a YouTube guy.
He just sent us a note. He was in the middle of Mark Twain National Forest. So, hey man, been out there getting after it, getting some Mother Nature. So, but yeah, glad to see that he's on board.
Oh yeah. Definitely go check out Marcus on IG. Marcus Torgerson, Torgerson. He's got a lot of good stuff, a lot of good practical stuff. Talks about everyday scenarios and just does a great job. So
yeah, good positive mindset.
Yep.
Just pick yourself up by the bootstraps. Here's the thing with Marcus too. Marcus, I gave him a little phrase a while back, and he's been taking that thing to the bank in good form. So he's just a solid dude. So definitely go check him out and see the great stuff that he's got going on.
Yeah. So early this past week, early in the week, we had some issues that happened in the Olympics, and we always talk about the Olympics. We love it. I understand some of the things going on with the Olympics as far as, protests and people and having a little bit of a bitter taste in your mouth, but we love the athletes and we love the Olympics here at OTR, just like everybody else does, but we choose to watch. So just to kind of give everybody full disclosure, I watch the Olympics. There's some things that I wish that I don't watch because they are our athletes, but for the most part, we watch the athletes. And arguably the greatest female gymnast that ever lived, Simone Biles.
Mhm.
And I say arguably because, I mean, I'm sure people might have someone else in mind, but in my mind, it's a very strong argument for her because some of the things that she is able to do, and at the level before she even steps on the type of tumbles and things that she is going to do, the bar at the very onset, before she even steps on the mat or on the bars, is so much higher than what everybody else is doing, and she typically flawlessly executes it.
Mhm.
Now, for those who are listening or watching that did not see the story, I'm sure you've heard that she ended up pulling out of the Olympics. She was going out for the team all-around event. They were doing the first revelation, and they were on the vault. Simone gets up there with everybody else that was in that rotation. She does a vault just to warm up and clearly loses her orientation in space and was able, luckily, to land on her feet, roll out of it, and immediately came up and was shaken by it and immediately said something to somebody.
Mhm.
Shortly thereafter, the team notified the Olympic Committee that she was pulling out and they were going to replace her with an alternate. The story evolves. The girls go out there and the rest of the team end up, the ladies, I should say, go out there and end up winning a silver medal for the team. And Simone had pulled out for that reason, that she could not find herself in space and that she was concerned that the best thing at that time was to go ahead and step aside and let someone else compete.
Mhm.
Now, you and I have talked about this at length prior to the show, and actually, I think the day after the story broke, that we do not think ill of her at all. And
Mhm.
it doesn't make her any worse, doesn't make her any better, and we have no ill feelings towards that decision on its face value at all.
Mhm. Yeah,
So,
and I mean, I think on that, Mark, right? So here's the thing: stepping up to the plate, and I think um, her decision to sit there and go, "Hey, my head's not in the game, or I'm having something going on in my head." Spot on for her, right?
yes,
Because a lot of other athletes have said something um, to the same extent. I got it. You're competing at that high level, whatever the stress is. Okay, cool. But the thing with it, no one has really resonated this is take what she did and tell people, hey, if you're having dramas, reach out. If you're having issues, whatever that drama is, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be it uh that high level. Hey man, you look at how many just people in general are dealing with something. Reach out for help. I think that needs to be the key, takeaway with all this is it's okay to reach out. And if you need help, find it, talk to somebody, get your point in the right direction.
yeah. And to be completely fair to the audience, we're not trying to speak, expertly on the entire situation because I have not read all the articles. I had family things just like everybody else,
Hmm.
but I did not find out, and I'm sure you guys can help us. But if it was something that was occurring prior to her getting there, or if it's something that occurred as soon as she stepped out on the floor and something just wasn't firing, I'm not really sure. I think it was a little
She
bit of the both.
she said something prior to um something, and I don't remember, I'm not gonna to quote, but like her head wasn't in it.
Hmm.
So she was doubting herself prior to, so she knew whether that pressure was hitting that point prior to.
Right.
Uh, so still went out there, I think, gave it a whirl, and
Sure,
obviously,
she did. Yeah.
yeah, that was the point to go, hey, um, I'm gonna go hang that up. So,
Yeah. And I don't necessarily agree with all the negative sentiment. And we're going to get to the reason of this conversation here in a moment. But I know
mhm.
Rick and I wanted to get this across as well. Not real sure how people are. I'm sure there's like it has to be some kind of extreme. Either oh she's a quitter and she's terrible, or she's great and all this other stuff. I'm kind of I think you and I both agree we're kind of in the middle in there. But the interview, the post event interview, and some of the coverage has not helped her at all.
Mhm.
And correct me if I'm wrong, audience, and you feel free to call me an idiot and all you want. But I heard a lot of I's, I heard a lot of me, and
Mhm.
I heard a lot of that stuff. I didn't hear a lot of we, us, and team.
Mhm.
Now, again, is the media going to cut that up to her defense? Is the media going to cut that up and make it fit the narrative that they're pushing? Absolutely. And I don't think anything negative about her at all, but that's just what I heard. And I
Mhm.
know that you got to take what the media spits out at us with a grain of salt.
Yeah. And you hit the key point, right? It's bring it up like this. Hey guys, check it out. You know, I had whatever struggles, dramas with that event. Okay, fine. But then you got to throw the bone. Hey, if you're struggling, reach out for help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, you're going to do your own fixing, soul searching, whatever it is. That's a given. But you've got to almost use that as a catalyst, at least in my opinion, for others. Hey,
Yeah.
and it doesn't always have to be your fellow Olympic athletes, just people in general.
Yeah.
If you're having dramas, if you're having issues, hey, if you're thinking that stepping off that ledge is a better choice than living today, go find some help. Whatever your situation may be. I think that needs to be the conveyed story.
Yeah.
But it, I just don't think that the media does, you know, a good job in that aspect. Yep.
No, no.
Bring
They're
up the
pushing they're
point.
pushing their own agenda.
Sure.
And that's kind of where we're going. If everybody saw we had the word standard in there.
Hmm.
So then all of a sudden now, and she would be probably a great example of someone who could be an advocate for this type of mental health. And I hope
Hmm.
something very positive comes out of this.
Sure.
But then they start throwing around, this is the media, not her. This is the media. She's a hero.
Hmm.
She is brave. No, she's a human being.
Hmm.
Um, my opinion of bravery is someone facing insurmountable or what seems to be insurmountable odds or extraordinary tough situation and still goes out there knowing that the chances of failure or even death
Hmm.
is high,
Yep.
but they go out there and do it anyway.
Yeah.
That's bravery to me.
Sure.
I don't
I
think
mean,
someone being human being saying, look, I'm not doing this. It's best for the team just to move forward without me. I don't call that necessarily bravery. I call that human
mhm.
having struggling and just not being able to compete. That's what I call it.
Yeah, and then in turn bringing attention to that cause. But getting back to the whole bravery side, right? I look at, and I'll use my LEOs as a prime example. How many officers out there have pulled somebody from a burning vehicle? Now, these guys are not in the fire service.
Mm,
Do they know what to look for? Whatever. This thing could go catastrophic. Who knows? Vehicle's burning. At what point? What are you looking for? They still run up there. 9 times out of 10, usually getting burnt themselves to get somebody that's usually trapped in a vehicle out of that fire. Yeah.
yeah.
You want to talk about bravery? That's some bravery,
Yeah.
right? Because you've got the potential that thing can go catastrophic.
Yeah.
And that's just them trying to help out another individual. So no, I'm with you on that. But here's the thing. It's not like she's the only one, because I think it was Michael Phelps. He's come out before. I mean, there's been numerous athletes that have said, hey man, the whole, we'll just call it the mental health aspect of this is draining on some of these athletes. Sure. So it's not like she's the first, she won't be the last, but just figuring out, I would like to go, cool, I got it. How do you bring that out to the wider masses? How do you
Yeah.
cast a broader net? How do you sit there and go, cool? I'm not, trust me, I'm not bad mouthing my athletes. I am super proud of what they're doing.
Oh
But
man.
you know what? I got a spot for my veterans, right? Veteran suicide is still out of control. What are we doing there?
Yeah.
So how do we take this whole package and not just focus on one group of people? How do we cast a net to the broader side? How do we
Yeah.
look at whether it's the veteran suicide, suicide in the LEO community, just people in general, especially when you look at some of the crazy numbers from last year. And
Oh my
I think it was,
gosh.
just the number of people, suicide thoughts and depressed. And okay, let's take that and get the word out there. Okay, cool. If you're having these dramas, where to go to get help?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I do believe that she is one of the greatest of all time when it
oh, dude.
came to the performance and things like that.
Mhm.
I don't know if the media is trying to make sure that she doesn't lose that. To me, it is what it is. You couldn't compete that day. Unfortunately, it was the Olympics.
Yeah.
It is what it is, and maybe they think that, oh, that's not going to help her, greatest of all time chances. But look,
They're already saying that. I mean, they're
they're
already
already
saying
saying that.
she's been called the greatest of all times. She does moves, and oh, by
Yeah,
the way, has moves named after her because I
several.
guess,
Yeah,
yeah, I guess the way it works is if you knock out your own specialty move in one of these world competitions or the Olympics or whatever,
Yeah.
now it's named after you. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. She's got it. I don't. There's
Yeah.
no hog moves in gymnastics, so good for her.
Yeah. Well,
But
they are, but it usually has something to do with you kind of rolling around, writhing in pain, grabbing your ankle or something. But, and undoubtedly she would have ended up doing that. Had she been able to compete and wasn't something going on that, affected her ability to do so,
Mhm.
she would have went out there and crushed it. Nobody
Yeah,
denies that. But it
sure.
didn't happen. And you know what? Suni Lee, she went out there and crushed it.
Mhm.
Good for her. I think she's going to the War Eagles in Auburn,
Mhm.
and just in time for the name, image, and likeness payday to come around. So good for her. But it is what it is. And I don't know why we have to, call it other than what it is, being a human being and being a
Mhm.
great human being, by the way, being
Yeah.
a solid, great
Well,
competitor, great gymnast. There's nothing wrong with that, but calling it something different to try to, fit
yeah,
something in there. And I don't know what it is yet. I'm sure we'll figure it out, but
yeah. Well,
yeah.
here's another one too. You got to look at. I'm going to throw two things when it comes to the Olympics. Number one, you look at some of these athletes that are up there in age,
Oh
um,
yeah.
out there crushing it. You got a 39-year-old female beach volleyballer. Good for her. But
Yeah.
really, I think I saw something. So on the men's high jump, you had the guy from Qatar, and I don't know their names, and I think the one from Italy that had just broke his leg and recovered. And anyway, so these guys both do their jumps. They're tied for the gold medal. And the Olympic committee comes up and says, "Hey, man, we can either do a jump off or we can award 2 gold medals. What do you guys want to do?" Dude, they kind of looked at each other, gave the naughty nod.
Yeah.
We're
That's a
taking 2 golds,
no-brainer, dude.
dude. But to watch these guys and just
Yeah.
the sportsmanship, hugging each other, just
Yeah.
it was that's what the Olympics are about.
Yeah.
It's going
Good for
boom.
them, man.
Hats off to you guys,
Yeah.
and just you know what?
Yeah.
Cool. We'll both take home a gold. Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with
And
that.
and I'm sure that everybody would love for you and I to have the conversation about striving for excellence and getting out there and quitting on
Mhm.
your team and not being there for them and all this other stuff. Look, I've got my own opinions about that too, but I like these stories of all of the athletes, just like the one you just told, about them
Mhm.
striving to be the very best at their craft and their event.
Yeah.
And something like this doesn't affect my thought of Simone at all. It does.
No.
She is. It's just she's
But
a human being.
sure. So what and here's the thing, it doesn't change anything because let's just say hypothetically she went out there in that vault and catastrophically
Yeah.
broke her leg or something, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to
Yeah.
say that, well, you're quitting,
I know.
tape your leg? There comes a point, I got it, man. So I just wish this, right? Just the media platforms, hey, use her as the example. Hey, if you're in that rough spot, pause point, reach out for help and get the help that you need.
Yeah.
That needs to be the message conveyed.
And I
My,
I think I have a lot of faith in her, and I think something like that will occur, and I
Mhm.
hope that she's able to help a lot of people. And there was a lot of articles too, and I can't remember. I think it might have been the Washington Post. I don't want to quote it. If I come up with it, maybe we'll put it in the show notes. But there's we have to look at Simone, and we have to redefine, because of her bravery, and the redefine the they were going so far as, Rick, that they, redefine what winning looks like. What do you mean what winning? I'll tell you what winning looks like. You're
Mhm.
on the top of the podium and everybody else isn't.
Mhm.
That's what winning looks like. It is what it is.
Yeah.
They're trying to
And
make something great out of something that is just a human being being human. And I
sure.
know I've said that multiple times, but redefining what winning is, what the hell does that mean?
I,
That's you know what that is? That's participation trophies is what that is.
and again, here's the thing, and I'm going to totally change the definition of winning. Winning is you come home, right?
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so whether it's my military law enforcement, okay, check it out. The Olympics is not a game that will kill you.
No.
Or not a job that will kill you. I won't say
Yeah.
game, but not a job that will kill you. If you are a first responder or if you're in the military, yeah, that job has a high potential of killing you. Oh, if you're not training for it and you wind up in the L column, you know, either you're
Yeah.
missing limbs or you're sitting there in a body bag going home.
Yeah.
So it people I just but then again, most people have never been in that situation. So they think that, oh, okay, yeah, great. No, man, you
Yeah.
want the win column every time.
Yeah.
And it's one of those that if you wind up in the, with an L on there, because typically you lost somebody or somebody got wounded or hurt or whatever the case may be, what are you doing? You're figuring out how do we not repeat that?
Yeah.
So it's just a different
It is.
mindset.
It's a different mindset set and perspective from, our
Yeah,
idea of bravery and winning. And yeah,
sure,
but we love our athletes, and we hope
sure.
nothing but the best for Simone. And
Well, all
it's
of them,
very interesting. Very interesting.
dude. Here's the thing: all of them from across the board, where I've been seeing, Team USA has been crushing it. So I watched the ladies 3 meter uh, diving, and the one girl that she used to be a trampolinist, and
Mm.
somehow somebody said, "Hey, why don't you go try this diving thing?" And dude, she crushed it and wound up with a bronze medal behind the two Chinese women that have crushed it for like the last 16 years, man. It's like,
Yeah.
so now, I mean, Team USA is out there just
Yeah.
doing fantastic, man.
Yeah. Just love the striving to be excellent at something.
Yeah.
And man, to reaching that level of excellence and in that tough of competition,
Hmm.
it's just amazing. Why don't you take this one, Rick? It's your good friend down in Texas.
Yeah, man. So this episode of On the Range podcast is brought to you by Alpha Elite Performance. So Travis and the boys and girls down there in Texas, man, another Special Forces veteran-owned
Yeah,
company.
buddy.
But here's the thing: I will always go back to this product that Travis has. So his heavy metal detox. If you're in the world of firearms, doing firearms training, or even if you're in a job that you're around a lot of heavy metals, get you some of that heavy metal detox, because trust me, what you don't want is heavy metal poisoning. Because I will tell you from someone that has experienced it, if you're not hitting it early and getting those heavy metals out of your body, oh, they go to your bones. So I guess I've got super strong bones, and probably why, I weigh the weight, how much I weigh, because I'm sitting there probably with a bunch of lead jammed in
Yeah.
my bones. But yeah, go check out Travis's and Alpha Elite Performance. Use code OTR15, save you 15%, or as Mark's
Yeah.
words, a boatload of cash. And he's got a bunch of stuff down there,
Mm.
just not the heavy metal detox, but GBNT. If you're going, what's this GBNT? That would be Green Beret nap time. So Travis has kind of put everything SF-ish around his product line. But yeah, definitely helps with recovery and sleep and all that stuff. But check out his full line of performance enhancing products, man. Just great stuff. And don't forget code OTR15, save you 15% or a boatload of cash.
Yep. And lastly, but not leastly, we have Andrew Weiss and the fam down there at Grand Rapids, Michigan, battlebrothershaving.com.
Hmm.
Go to battlebrothers.com and check out their premium shaving products. They're unbelievable. Rick uses the beard oil. I have the razor, and it's just unbelievable stuff. It really is kind of a
Smooth.
lost art to use that stuff. And man, go ahead and treat yourself. Use the promo code on the range 15. What were
Mine's
you going
easy.
to say?
Just mine's easy. Just a couple drops, rub my hands together. That's no
Yeah.
lost art right there. You get it. Bam.
Yeah, it's all great stuff, and it's 98% made in the United States. There's a couple items that he's trying to get brought back to the United States. Is very
Hmm.
difficult because there's just not a lot of companies out there, and he's going to do it. He's doing a lot of good
Oh,
stuff,
dude.
and again, he gives a lot of the he gives proceeds to charities,
Hmm.
military, law enforcement, first responders. But battlebrothers.com, great guys over there and girls.
Yeah. You look at it, all four of the companies that sponsor, I mean, they're giving back to different organizations. So that's always fantastic.
Yeah.
So since we're on the whole giving back, I don't think we ever hit up. So we got to touch on Tectonic Distillery. If you guys
Yes. Big
have
week last week. Big announcement. That was awesome.
big, yeah. So if you guys are not tracking, um, I set this whole thing kind of in a quick context. So myself, Pat Mack, Jamie Caldwell, and Chris Dutchmoyer, we kind of all did this little sit down with Paul at Tectonic. Um, by the way, just absolutely fantastic bourbon. And kind of sitting there BSing. Well, Paul had made some custom labels for his bourbon bottles. So what Paul has done is the In Honor of Dukko maple flavored, which is my favorite um, of the Tectonic bourbons, is out. So you can go online. order that stuff. The beauty is $20 from every order is going to charity. So
Yeah, which is unbelievable.
yeah,
Damn near
and
25% of the purchase is great.
yeah, so absolutely fantastic. I can't thank Paul and Tectonic enough for doing that, and I can't thank the viewers, listeners out there, and everyone that's sent me notes, bought mine, got mine. Trust me, that maple will not disappoint. And if you trying to figure out how it's made, because trust me, I was that guy. Watch the whole inside story. Paul eventually tells you how it's done, and now I'm like, oh, I got it, man, because I was trying to figure out how does it do it. But
Yeah.
that was my pick for the flavor bourbon that I wanted in honor of Dukko. It's got a great label on there, so just a way that, hey, every time you're sitting there cracking that bottle, holding that glass up, just a way to remember him and keep his memory alive. So
Yeah.
yeah, buddy.
And yeah, the Kelley Defense House will be receiving its bottle here shortly. Looking forward to it. Hopefully in time for you to be up here when you come to the Hacienda at H-
Hmm.
Lounge. Bust that out. Can't wait.
Yep.
Another group that we want to make sure that go ahead, buddy. I didn't
No,
know if
I
you
was
say
gonna say,
something.
I think Dan's already got his. So he just made a comment, love the maple. It's freaking awesome and not really sweet. It's not, it's just, it's got ever so slightly touch. I mean, it's just that you
Hint.
would think hint.
It's a
Yeah,
hint.
you'd think they just put one little drop in there just to give it just a man.
Yeah.
It's hard to put in words. But anyway, buddy, I cut you off. I just saw Dan put that message up and just had a reply to that one. So
Yeah. No, where I was going to make sure that we mentioned explosive
yep,
apparel.
yep. Explosive
Man,
design.
those guys,
Yeah,
yeah, design apparel. Yeah, man, they've really been helping out. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and drop a shout out for them as well.
yeah. So man, uh, Rich and the boys over there in the UK. So again, a UK based company. Pretty much they reached out to me because they were in the process of doing their Blackbeard and Friend
Hmm.
series, right around the time that Dukko passed. And he's like, hey, would like to do this in honor of Dukko. And I was like, absolutely floored. I was like, 100%. Um, and then the beauty is with Rich, he's already given $1,000 contribution to charity. So that was absolutely fantastic. Um, he's slowly getting out. He's starting to process the orders, but we've got hats in either flex fit or the snapback in regular multicam or multicam black.
Yeah.
He's got t-shirts in numerous different colors. Same thing with the hoodies. Now on the hat or on the t-shirts and hoodies, what he's done is he's actually taken where the U.S. flag goes, because it should have the U.S. flag on one side and the Union Jack on the other. But on the U.S. side, where typically he would put explosive designs on there, he put Dukko in there. So
Yeah.
that's where it came up with this whole. I just call it the Dukko series for lack of better terms. But yeah, he did that. Got patches, flags. I think we're looking at doing some type of challenge type coin as well. So absolutely, just the support from that side has been fantastic. And then just like I said, things are slowly trickling in. So you can see on IG that people are, hey man, check this out, do that. So I would say this at some point, I need to do an announcement. And since I'm here chatting anyway, I would just say this, guys, do me a favor. If you're, whether it's explosive design, you got some of their stuff, whether you've got anything from Tectonic, whatever, anything that's got to deal with Dukko. There's a gazillion different hashtags out there when it comes to Dukko, but I think we're going to stick with, if you just use the hashtag in honor of Dukko, just tag your stuff that way. Obviously, tag him because his page is still going. Tag me, and trust me, we'll get you some type of note back. Just so that I can tell you thank you, and then get a repost on that as well. So absolutely, just um,
Yeah, we're
just
gonna have to
phenomenal.
boot somebody out.
Yeah, just phenomenal. Just phenomenal people as far as that end goes. So greatly appreciate all the support on that side, what you guys are doing. So just do that. Stick that hashtag in honor of Dukko if you would for me, and then just tag us in there. And I greatly appreciate it. And like I said, thank you for all your support, Dan. I know you've been a constant staple in there. Anybody else, I appreciate it, guys. It means more than you know. I think there's going to be some good stuff coming forward as far as Dukko goes, and really extending out his story. I would say this, as far as Dukko goes, if you guys go to victormarks.com, sign up for their intelligence brief there. I do believe there should be an article coming out on him here shortly. So But yeah, it's kind of where we're sitting at.
And we want those hashtags on Dukko's page to keep growing, because there's going to be occasion where in the future where we're going to want to help others as well, and push their causes that we believe in. And yeah, man, keep sharing that. And listen here, guys, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, go ahead and subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave us a comment. If you're listening on the audio side of house, where all of our platforms, we're on all of them, make sure you go ahead and rate them. Maybe go ahead and leave a comment, even if it's just an emoji. But at the very least, if you could do us a favor, share these videos and audio shows to your friends and ask them to do the same if you believe in what we're saying. And we like comments, even if they're negative, so we can improve. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Improve our product, and so go ahead and just interact with those pages as much as possible on Facebook and our group chats and all that other stuff. So really appreciate all that interaction. But man.
So I'm going to close up with two things. Number one, I'm going to answer Andy's question here. He just asked if I'd answered before. Is Dukko buried anywhere? Nope. Dukko is back at the Hog House. So we had Dukko cremated, and we have physical remains, or physical custody of his remains. So that was by design what we wanted to do. So and that way, hey, if we ever sit there and go somewhere or do whatever, you know what, he's rolling with us. So
one other thing I want to mention, Rick, before you go on to closing it up, is the new War HOGG Words of Wisdom. The launch of the series, brought to you by War HOGG Tactical and On the Range podcast, is up. Yes, episode 1, it had Dukko in it. The first 4, I believe, do. And we're going to start rolling those out. We're going to try to get those out on every Thursday, and then there'll be some new ones coming up. Also, we have another series coming up called From OTR Vantage Point. It's going to be more of a pop culture and news, kind of like similar what we talked about with the Olympics today, and give us a platform to talk about other things. We don't get overly political, but there are things that we want to be able to address that people are asking our opinion on that we think is appropriate for the show. And again, if there's something that's going on immediately, we can break in and address those type of things as well. So make sure you check out Rick's first episode. Turned out great, big response. And those are going to be video shows and audio shows as well. So we're excited about that. The show is really, and the OTR media group is really growing. So we're really looking forward to those things to continue. And your feedback, by the way.
Yeah, buddy. So I think kind of what we kind of decided to do was, at the closing of each of these podcasts, just tell a Dukko story. So I'm going to give this one here is going to go back to 2012. So right around the time when I first got Dukko. It was his first time coming home because he had his gastropexy. So we purposely did it during the Christmas break so that we would, I could keep an eye on him. I don't remember why we weren't going anywhere. It doesn't matter. And I remember Mama had just got her a new coffee table. Super excited about it, right? Here's what you got to understand. People didn't realize, and I think it was her that actually caused the drama, is if you've got your closed fist, and you're sitting there showing it to a Dutchie, i.e. Dukko, oh, is that something for me? And I can't remember if it was her or the kids or one of them, right? But all I know is he saw that and decides he wants to do a leap towards whoever that person was, which was, oh, by the way, on the other side of the coffee table. Now, I fully believe he would have cleared it had nobody been the, oh, no. And he kind of like, oh, what's going on? So he kind of hits the brakes mid-stroke, and it's like,
oh, God.
Yeah, across the coffee table. So it was one of those that it's like,
yeah,
guys, we don't want to
do you still have that coffee table?
We do. Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't change that.
It's part of the dress look,
Yeah.
It's
That's right. Vintage.
But that was one of those, it was like, no. It's like, and he tried to stop. He tried to stop on the table.
Yeah,
I'll give him that.
Yeah,
and he might have very well stopped on the table. I don't remember. It's been a bunch of years ago, but yeah. So that was if you want to say, that was really Dukko's first at-home type story. And it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Harry wasn't supposed to be all active and just kind of keeping him chilled out, and
and
he's going to chase after a ball, and now we got nail marks on the
all right, buddy. Thanks for sharing that. And
yeah, buddy.
Always having you here is a pleasure, man. Just love doing the show. We're having a blast, and
Yeah, same here, buddy.
yeah. So, all right, buddy. I will talk to you soon. And thanks for everybody that joined in and all the patrons. Go check out the On the Range podcast Patreon page at patreon.com/On the Range podcast. Don't forget to check out and sign up for newsletters at warhog.com and kelleydefense.com. All right, pal. See you next time, Rick. All right, buddy.
Take care, buddy.
Take care.